All right, for today's lesson, we're going to be talking about solving an equation, and we're really going to go back to the basics and we're going to talk about inverse operations, and we're going to actually do 1 and 2 steps today. So when you're solving an equation, so remember an equation has to have an equal sign, you're actually finding the value of a variable. Now remember, the variable is the unknown value. So when we give something a variable, it could be x, it could be y, it could be Z, it could be T, it could be any letter, but that variable is your unknown. And then we're going to do some operations and we're going to isolate. So isolate means to get by itself the variable by undoing. So undoing is those inverse operations that we're going to talk about. And we're going to undo the addition, the subtraction, the multiplication, and the division. So in order to do that, let's remind ourselves of the order of operation. So remember, order of operation is PEMDAS or PEMDAS. It depends on how your teacher said it. So the P stands for parentheses, E stands for exponents, but what we're really going to focus on is the multiplication and division. Remember, those can occur in any order, depending on which one occurs left to right. And then addition and subtraction, and again, those can occur in any order from left to right. Now, when we go backwards, we're going to do PEMDAS backwards. So we're going to do addition and subtraction, then we're going to do multiplication and division. So we're going to start from the very bottom. We're going to do addition and subtraction, and then we're going to go back up and do multiplication and division. Okay? All right, so when we look at these values, what is an inverse operation? Inverse means opposites. Okay, so if I have addition, my opposite value is going to be subtraction. Just like if I have subtraction, my opposite value or my inverse value is addition. If I have multiplication, my opposite value or my inverse value is going to be division. So if I have division, my opposite value or my inverse value is multiplication. That is how we undo something. Okay, so if I'm adding $3 to my pocket, I'm going to subtract the $3 from my pocket to undo that. So we're going to apply that to some examples for one-step equations. So when I look at my first equation, so I have a plus 2 equals 10. So I know it's an equation because I have my equal sign, and my operation that I'm going to be working with is plus 2. So we want to solve our problem for a. So we're solving for a, but we need to undo plus 2. So basically we're saying what number for a plus 2 will equal 10. So if we think about this logically, what number plus 2 equals 10, we should realize that a should equal 8. 8 plus 2 equals 10. But we can do this mathematically by saying, okay, if I have plus 2, the opposite of that is minus 2. Well, if I minus 2, I'm going to do that to both sides. And what do I mean by both sides? So that equal sign, if you want to draw a line, you're talking about your left side of the equal sign and your right side of the equal sign. So 2 minus 2 equals 0, so that goes away. I'm going to bring down my a, so a equals 8, because 10 minus 2 is 8. All right, so again here, we have minus 17 is my operation. We're solving for y here. Now, if you don't like the way this is ordered, that's fine. You can rearrange this problem and you can take your left side and you can take that and switch it with your right side. So I could say y minus 17 equals 83. The only thing you can't do is switch stuff around. You can't do 17 minus y. It has to look exactly like it did before you started. So that's not going to work. All right, so again, we are going to solve for y, but we have minus 17. So the opposite of minus 17 is we're now going to add 17. So if I add 17 to this, that is going to get rid of my minus 17. So I'm going to bring y down. So we have 7 plus 3. That's going to give me 10. Carry my 1. 8 plus 1 is going to give me 10. So y equals 100. And I should also agree that if I plug 100 back in here, so 100 right here, 100 minus 17 does equal 83. All right, number 3. So again, I have x equals, so we want to solve for x. And the most common thing that students do is they look at this operation to determine what to do with the 4. That operation goes with the x value. So we're not going to be looking at that. We're going to be looking at what is in front of the actual positive, or in front of the 4, which we don't see anything, so we know it's got to be positive 4. So we are going to be inversing positive 4. And we're going to, right now it's plus 4, so we are going to subtract 4. Now, that is going to get rid of the 4, so 4 minus 4 is 0. Bring down my x. 12 minus 4 is going to give me 8. So if we check back over, 4 plus 8 does equal 12. All right, so again in this situation, I'm solving for the variable d, and we want to inverse that minus 7. So if we inverse the minus 7, that's going to be plus 7, because right now it's minus 7. We're going to do the opposite. And we now have negative 7 plus 7, that's going to be 0. And we have d equals 10. And we can check that. D minus 7, or excuse me, 10 minus 7 does equal 3.